What holds you away from your desires and how to fix it? Well, we're here in our adult life and we have all kinds of dreams and desires. We know what we want, even vaguely, even emotionally, even the feeling of what we want. Maybe we just want an easier life or an interesting job. Even at a general emotional level, we have dreams and desires. And a lot of times we're just not getting them. They're not coming in the way that we want them to come. So we're trying all kinds of ways. We're thinking about all kinds of ways. Do I work harder? Do I get more education? How can I get my hands on more money? That will get me what I want. And now in recent years, the law of attraction, right? Going to use energy, going to use the law of attraction to get what I want. And that's where manifestation techniques have sprung from, a way to, try to get what we want. But it's not about any of that. We don't have to get anything. It's naturally all flowing to us. And so what we have to understand is what we're doing to block it. So one, we want to understand how life really works, so we can see that everything is set up to work out for us in the creative process. Shows that to us in a great detail. So once you realize that, then it's like, okay, well, there's nothing to get. It's all about receiving. So what do I got to do to receive, or why am I not receiving? So let's take a look at what's happening, because it goes all the way back to when we were growing up as a kid. That's where the resistance came in. That's where the blocks came in. That's why we're not getting our dreams and desires today as an adult, because of what went on with us as a child, because that's where we developed faulty beliefs about ourselves and about life, and they are still with us until we specifically and intentionally displace them. And they're always going to be affecting us. So let's just take a look at what's gone on here. So, growing up, because the people around us didn't know the knowledge of life, didn't know the creative process, doing the best that they can. And it's different from family to family across the planet. But to some degree, the kids got to get some level of faulty belief, because we're just not getting the natural knowledge of life about how amazing we are and how easy life is and how joyous it is and how it's all set up to work out for us. See, we're not getting that. So in the absence of getting that, we get something else, and it's less than that, and it's faulty belief stuff. So as a child, there's things that we pick up, and we start to think of ourselves in terms of, do we matter? Do we really matter? Are we good enough? No one listens to me. I'm bad, or I'm wrong. I'm not doing it right. And no one cares about me. I have no value. Not sure if I have value. I don't do anything right. Life is a struggle. So a bunch of stuff about ourselves, and then just generally, life is not something that easily comes to you. There's all kinds of things you're going to have to do to kind of get the things that you want. Not really sure you're going to get them. So, growing up, there's a lot of emotional stuff going on around, fear and insecurity and hurt about the way we feel about ourselves, or the way that we feel like we've been treated. That stuff all gets lodged in our subconscious mind. And it really changes the way that we think about things as we grow up. It influences the way we think about ourselves and about life. And of course, the law of attraction is picking up that energy and broadcasting that. So we get into our young adult years, and two things happen. One is, we get the feeling that we're free now. We can make our own money. We can make our own decisions. We can have our own space. We could go to school, start a business, get into a career, job, whatever. Get into a relationship, start a family, buy things, all that kind of stuff. And so we are coming out of this growing up years with all these faulty beliefs, but we kind of override them. It's kind of like that. We kind of forget about that, because we just get these thoughts of it. Hey, I've left all that behind. I'm responsible for me. and I get to make decisions for me. So there's kind of these thoughts, and it puts into our subconscious mind conditional vibrational beliefs. You could call it conditional vibrational adrenaline that we get from them because we're excited about all these things that, we have the dreams. We still have the dreams that we want, and we believe they're possible, and we're gonna make them happen. And so we develop these kind of beliefs that are conditional. And our thoughts are generally pretty upbeat, and we're kind of excited. And so that energy is dominant temporarily. It's dominant over the faulty beliefs that we grew up with. But they're still there because unless we deactivate them, displace them intentionally, they're there. But right now they're just hanging around in the background. And so you get to a certain point, it may be, any number of years. It could be in a year. It could be 5 years. It could be 10 years. It could be 20 years that you live off these conditional, faulty beliefs that create a sense of expectation in you. But typically, once you get the things that you want, you're excited about, and you start to sort of settle down into them, then you sort of lose that edge of curiosity and excitement and anticipation because you've gotten a number of things and you think, hey, life is pretty good. But then guess what happens? Oh yeah, those faulty beliefs, they start broadcasting. They start becoming dominant again. And when they do, then what happens is a person's life starts to diminish. And it goes back to that level of what those faulty beliefs are that we picked up when we were a kid. So then there's quite a change that can happen. Things can fall apart. Your business, relationships, friendships, all kinds of things, money. It can really take a downturn because it takes you back. Those faulty beliefs take you back to that vibrational level. The other thing that can happen, that's one thing that can happen when you get into your young adult years. So you get that kind of excitement going into it, even though it's conditional. The other thing that can happen is you just carry those faulty beliefs and that kind of thinking into your adult years. And then you're looking to earn your worthiness because you don't believe you're inherently valuable. You figure it's something you got to earn. And you don't believe life is inherently good and easy. So now you're looking for ways to navigate. How can I get what I want? How can I gotta earn my worthiness. I gotta earn my value and importance. I gotta get my success, and I gotta get abundance, and I gotta get security. You see, you're trying to figure out all those things. And you're doing all kinds of things to get your hands on that too. You're going to work hard. Maybe you're pleasing others, looking for validation, looking for recognition, trying to prove yourself, trying to do the right things. And then in recent years, it's the law of attraction, right? People are trying to use energy. That's the way I'll get what I want to get. That's the way I don't have to deal with all that worthiness and security and all that kind of thing. I'll just use the law of attraction, and I'll get some kind of technique going that's going to give me everything, and I can leave all that other stuff behind. I'll just use the energy, and that doesn't work, of course, because you're not dealing with cleaning up the energy. You're not dealing with displacing those faulty beliefs. And so they just keep broadcasting. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how many people you please, how much approval you get, or how much recognition you get. It just doesn't matter. Sooner or later, you're going to burn out or get tired of it or whatever it is. But those faulty beliefs are going to take over again. And your life is just going to be in that cycle, that loop, right? That loop of what that energy is that you established as a child growing up about yourself and about life. And so that's the energy that really has got to get fixed. And, so either way, whichever road you take as a young adult, one way or the other, you either sort of get that temporary conditional belief going and everything, and for any number of years it can work for you, but eventually the faulty beliefs will catch up because they're in there, and they are going to take over again at some point. A lot of times that's what people call a midlife crisis. It wasn't happening till later on, but it's happening to people much earlier now. But that's what explains midlife crisis, is once all that sort of, I did everything they said. I got the education, I got the relationship, I got the family, I got the house, I got the car, I got the job, I got all that stuff. And then you wake up one day and it's like, okay, I got that all, what's next? Or it's not really that rewarding, or it doesn't really feel all that good, or whatever it is. And it's because you got those faulty beliefs. They're hanging around in the background. So that's what eventually happens. Or you just take it right into your young adult life, and you just start right from the scratch to try to get something going in your life that feels good and puts you in charge of your life. And you do all the things that I was talking about in the last slide. But again, eventually those beliefs take over, and they're low vibration. And what you want is high vibration. The good life you want is high vibration. So you can see that you just really, over a lifetime, you're not going to get that fulfilling life that we came for, that high vibration life, unless you clean out your subconscious mind from those initial beliefs that you picked up as a child. Okay, so it all stems back. See, what holds you away from your desires, what holds you back from the life that you want right now, is the stuff that basically happened in the first 8 years of your life. That's what it gets down to. That stuff's got to be cleaned up. And like I said, you might take 2 paths. Maybe you'll get some conditional beliefs going, and they'll last for any number of years, but eventually those faulty beliefs are in there and they're going to kick in. Or you're just going to be living with them right from the start of your adult life, and you're going to try to work around them in some way and get your life to go. And either way, it doesn't matter, because you end up in the same place, and that is those faulty beliefs are going to dictate the level of life that you're living. And that's what's got to be cleaned up. And we want to get it cleaned up so that we know we're inherently good. We got to know we're inherently valuable, inherently successful, inherently perfect, inherently worthy and deserving, and in demand and important. We must get that within ourselves, in that we are inherently good. And you then from that, and understanding life is set up to work for you, that life is good for you, that life is meant to be good, that there's so much going on that's serving you and behind you, serving you and supporting you. The whole universe is. You've got to get that going within yourself so that you displace all those faulty beliefs, and you're free from that energy. You're free from that sludge, as I talked about in another video. That's all cleared up, and it can't come back to, just to use a kind of a slang word, it can't come back to haunt you, because it is going to come back and haunt you unless you clean it up, because it's just in there, just waiting for the opportunity where you're not overriding it or not trying to work around it, and then it's going to be offering that energy dominantly to law of attraction, and your life is going to go to that level, whatever that level was that you established as a child. And you don't want to work with that level. You want to work with the level you came for, which is unlimited living, unlimited abundance, unlimited everything, and an easy flow to your life. That's what you came for. And so once you get that back in alignment, you work on that to get that back in alignment, then your energy, your beliefs, your conscious mind thoughts are all high vibration. See, they're a match to everything you want. And they're a match to who you are and how life works, because all your thoughts about yourself and about life are going to be those good feeling thoughts. And you'll understand contrast, and when things happen in your life, you understand them not only as contrast, but a mirror to your energy. You're always optimistic. You're always understanding and responding to things. It's just the thoughts are all good about everything, about others, about yourself, about your dreams. They're just good feeling thoughts, and you're not trying to work around anything. You're not trying to make things happen. You're not trying to secure yourself or prove yourself. None of that stuff. It all goes out the window. All those things I talked about, they go right out the window when you get in alignment. And when you do, then you are living your high vibration life. And that's how you fix it. That is how you fix that's how you fix the thing that holds you away from living your life of the desires that you want. You've got to fix that energy that you got, roughly in the first 8 years of your life. That's the energy. That's literally your today resistance that's holding you away from everything. So that's what I say in your daily emotion tracker. Whenever you're feeling negative emotion, that is giving you an opportunity to look at the thought. And that thought, I can guarantee you, is going to be related to one of these beliefs about yourself or about life. And when it does, that's your opportunity to transmute that thought. You're going to mute it by transforming it into a thought that is in agreement with the creative process. And you're going to establish what the truth of life is within yourself. That's what you got to do. You got to establish the truth of life and truth of yourself within you. And that takes some time of repetition. Every time you think those other thoughts, you got to replace them. You got to replace them, deconstruct them, reconstruct them, transmute them. All those words, the same kind of thing. What they mean is you've got a thought that's going on that needs to be replaced because it's out of alignment, right? And that's the energy that's literally holding you away from everything you want to be living in your life. And so that's the thing to be fixed, and that's the way to fix it. And of course, if you need help with that, want help with that, that's what my book of life is for, and the Higher Vibrations 20-week program book. They are to help you to clean up all of those faulty beliefs and get your energy all nice and clear and clean and in agreement with the way life really is. And then once it's there, then you're flowing high vibration in your day. And then all the things that you want just come into your life. You're not looking to make it happen or work around anything or get money or use law of attraction or any of that stuff. You're in alignment. You're living in alignment. Your thoughts, your thought energy is in alignment about everything. And that's what opens the door and allows you to connect with that nice flowing life in all the ways that you like, in very joyous ways. So that's the video for today. Thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, leave them on the post, and have yourself a great day.